Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now January 31st of 2025, and given that we have a lot of issues going on right now with the Oscars 2025, the Academy Awards is getting a lot of flack, it's getting a lot of backlash, and rightfully so, by the way, after doubling down on their ideology, their overall agenda with diversity, equity, and inclusion. This, for the majority of that, has a lot to do with the 13 nominations that were handed out for a movie called Emilia Perez, a movie which, by the way, also stars Selena Gomez, who recently got caught up in a lot of backlash for saying those ridiculous comments about deportations and how that truly backfired on everything on her social media, whether it was Instagram or, Twitter, etc., etc. Everywhere it has been shared across social media, it's not going well for Selena Gomez, period, the end. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So I don't know if you guys have really been invested in this movie called Emilia Perez. Not watching it, by the way, but everything surrounding the drama related to this film. Now, this is basically a movie about transition surgery for a drug lord. It's a musical/film that comes from Netflix. It features Selena Gomez and among other stars out there. But what's interesting about this is that we know that the Academy Awards are doubling down on everything to do with their overall ideology, and Selena Gomez is already off. She is already off to defending this movie with every single, might that she has to really make it out there that this is nothing more than a message for DEI, and this also comes in light of her defending her previous comments on social media and how it's already backfiring again. So with Selena Gomez already losing fans in droves after her comments made on social media completely backfired on her career, one monumental development going on now involves more to do with Selena Gomez and what she had to say about the backlash centered on the film Emilia Perez and her previous comments made. Now, Selena recently delivered the following. I think there is this growing refusal to embrace content or material that values and respects diversity, equity, and inclusion, which I think is a very beneficial thing to both film and television. I really do. And to see all the backlash, all that division over Emilia Perez, which I wish I dedicated more time to, is absolutely out of place and irresponsible behavior coming from the public, coming from those that are loyal to one side of the country that believe in such nonsense that DEI has bad intentions. It's a false message coming from one side of politics that just spread like wildfire, and a film like Emilia Perez deserves more credit. I stand by my support for this film that I dedicated so much time to and just how much I sacrificed to play in this role. Nobody will ever understand what it means to be an actress and just how important it is to deliver a message to the world and to just show how important characters like Emilia really are in this film. The fact that we have toxic males and even women attacking this film that's honorable and received 13 nominations, and it deserved those nominations in every way, by the way. But the awful comments I have seen over those nominations just shows us how juvenile our country can really be over a film or a musical that respects those that like to go by different genders or who were once considered male or female before. I hold no regrets with my previous comments, nor do I hold any regret for standing up to what I believe is right for a film as important as this to really get the word out there that people like Emilia do exist in this world. The backlash over how this film is nominated for Best Actress, Best Picture, or whatever is coming from a place of misogyny, sexism, and most certainly those that hold no knowledge on what it means to be a woman or a man. This movie is not to be taken literally, but it is meant to be used as a message to show that those out there actually do have to be taken care of. Getting the chance to work with a great cast has been the chance of a lifetime, and I have great confidence that we will win some of those awards for such artistic treasure. So guys, let me just put this out there for one moment before I move on about what Selena Gomez is doing right now. She is trying to defend Emilia Perez like no tomorrow. Now, again, I've said this before, this movie is about a drug lord that goes under transition surgery. Just let that sink in for a moment. Now, she did point this out before in the past, that it's not to be taken literally like how she's, it's not like she's defending drug lords or anything like that, but she's defending the message. She's defending the overall message of this DEI-driven nonsense that's shoehorned into a movie/musical like this that's really just nothing more than an attempt by Hollywood to really kind of make this the norm, to make this into normalcy, right? So, Emilia Perez, look, we already know that those out there, like Mel Gibson, Sylvester Stallone, Jon Voight, James Woods, I mean, they called this thing out multiple times about how absurd it truly is. And just how there are so many people now abandoning ship from watching the Oscars. I mean, those that have been invested into the Oscars every single year are even leaving now in droves. And that just goes to show you exactly what's going on. So she goes on to continue, I will admit this was the best project I ever worked on, and it deserves more credit. The backlash, I think, where it stands right now is coming from a loud minority of moviegoers that don't understand true cinema and art. And review bombing has become the new norm on social media, so I think we can't just rely on audiences anymore, but rather we have to look to professional critics that are fair and balanced. And that's exactly what we got from the true critics for Emilia Perez. With all the deportations going on in this country, and many of those are receiving the worst treatment, they also so happen to fall into the LGBTQ community, and they don't deserve that type of disrespect. I hold no regrets for what I support. So, again, I mean, Selena Gomez is not making things better for herself, and look, she's in her 30s, and she acts like she's, a teenager in high school at this point, saying that it's toxic men this, toxic women that, and how it's false narratives coming from one side of the country. Look, people are tired of all of this nonsense being shoehorned into every fabric of society, whether it's entertainment, whether it's the workplace, whether it's in your day-to-day life, it's everywhere. And that's why DEI is being driven out right now by the Trump presidency, and rightfully so, starting off with agencies, by the way. I think that was a very good call by him, and that is one thing I do heavily agree on, by the way, but focusing away from politics and focusing on, this movie Emilia Perez in isolation. This movie is not going to perform well at the Oscars. I think it's going to contribute to a ratings disaster for the Academy. That's exactly what everyone is putting out there. That's why a lot of people are standing their ground. They don't want anything to do with the Oscars. They don't want to actually do, any service to supporting the Oscars 2025 because of this. Because let's face it, this was all done out of spite after that executive order by Trump was made for abolishing DEI. It came out literally a day or two after that order was made that Emilia Perez got 13 nominations. It's no coincidence at all. We know that this was all a part of their plan in the long run. But ultimately, Selena Gomez is not making things better. Now look, she's not the main star of the film. We have to make that very clear. She is not the character that goes under transition surgery in this movie, but she is the supporting character in the film, alright? There's also others in there that are in this movie that really I think is going to taint their careers, quite frankly. I think that they're going to get a lot of flack for this for the years to come, especially for defending a movie like this that focuses on ideology over artistic value, right? So overall, I would love to hear what everyone has to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.